Right guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my championship predictions for the 23-24 season. It's been a struggle, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I said I struggled to do my League 1 predictions, but this has been a whole other level. Honestly, this is a really competitive season this year. You know, it really does bring you back to the Coca-Cola era. It's really good to see, but this has not been easy to do, so I'm gonna apologise now. So when in 9 months' time I come back to review these predictions, I'll you're already prepared. That's all I'm gonna say. So usual format, starting off 24th, working our way up to first place. Anyway, starting off with my bottom three, and this is a pretty popular bottom three, I suppose, and probably in this order as well. You know, I hate to be, you know, the same as everybody else that you've seen, but it's, for me, these three are almost guaranteed to go down, which it's harsh to say, I suppose, but, you know, it's not looking great. I mean, 22nd and 21st with a bit of toss-up, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Starting off 24th, we do have Sheffield Wednesday, the only promoted club I've predicted to go straight back down. It's been a crazy summer over Sheffield Wednesday, hasn't it? Mostly with Darren Moore departing the club after that mental playoff campaign that he had last year. Honestly, I don't think there's been a more insane playoff story than Sheffield Wednesday last year, and it pains me to predict them to go down, because I do like Sheffield Wednesday a lot as a club. But, you know, I just don't know what's going to happen this year, I suppose. They've brought in Disco Munoz as his replacement. Yes, he's gotten Moffat promoted out of this league before, but this is a whole different career you could suggest. They haven't really brought in any upgrades, really have they? Like, they've brought in Reece James on a permanent transfer, which is always good, I suppose, but fucking Ashley Fletcher, like, come on. What on earth is going on there? I mean, I suppose it's a good thing that the squad's the same as last year and haven't really lost any key players, but... And yes, I know they finished on fucking 96 points, and I know everyone's going to be kicking off at us for that, but... At the same time, like have people forgotten how poor they were for the second half of that season? And also in that first leg against Peterborough? I just worry sometimes about Sheffield Wednesday, but... Who knows, I might end up having a crazy season and staying up. 23rd, I've gone with QPR. I mean, Gareth Ainsworth. I mean, just fucking look at last time he was here in the fucking championship. And it's weird because obviously people look at the league table and see that Wickham finished in 22nd, so like, oh yeah, Wickham must have almost stayed up. Like, people forget that Wickham were pretty much bottom for the entire season. Like, I think they lost the opening 8 games as well that season. Like, literally Wickham were fucking dead and buried the whole season. It was only towards the end when they started picking up a few results, but even then they were already gone. So I think people do forget that a little bit differently, but yeah, I mean, QPR, they've been going on a downward spiral for fucking years now. It just hasn't been great. Obviously, Sonny Diang and Rob Diggy both left. Chances are that Ilias Chair and Chris Willer can also leave as well come the end of the window. They haven't really upgraded their squad compared to what was last year, and they also got absolutely fucking battered off Oxford United in a preseason friendly when they were basically playing their strongest 11, which is just not what you want to see. And I know Inter is the bookies' favourite and everyone's favourite to get sacked first. I don't think he will get sacked first, but I do believe he will end up getting sacked this season. It's just written in the stars, I suppose, isn't it? And then 22nd, I've gone with Rotherham. I didn't want to predict Rotherham to go down because I feel like this is a very lazy prediction to do. You know, Rotherham in the championship fucking must get them relegated, but you know, it really was a toss-up between them and the team I've got in 21st. You know, Ogben's left, the huge departure, I suppose. You know, and also Josh Vickers, which I know they're not as big departures, but you know, Vickers, you know, he was a solid goalkeeper, albeit his second choice, he was a solid pair of hands. Also Richwood as well, you know, you're losing a lot of experience there as well, which is a shame. The signings they brought in haven't been too bad, I suppose. It's just, I just feel like the teams above them are stronger. But to be fair, like I've seen like a lot of people just completely write them off. I think they do have a good chance of staying up, but for me, I've just got in my bottom three. Now we're going to be moving on to the teams I think will finish in the bottom half, and this is where I've arguably struggled the most, just because I just didn't know where to place everybody, if I'm being honest. 21st, we're going with Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield narrowly avoided relegation last year, mostly down to Neil Warnock. Duane Holmes has joined Preston. Huddersfield fans can argue whether or not you're going to miss him loads or not. They've done very little business so far, and even now it hasn't really been anything mind-blowing. It's just looking very bleak at Huddersfield right now, isn't it? And literally the only reason why I've got them sitting up is because of Neil Warnock. But even then, there's no guarantee he'll see out the whole season, which is like I've got a little voice in the back of my head telling us to swap Huddersfield and Rotherham around, and I really was going to, but I've got them finishing 21st for now, but I think they might just go down. 20th I've gone with Cardiff. It's a new era of Cardiff. Erol Bulu's now the manager. Turkish fans weren't too impressed with him, so it's going to be intriguing to see how he gets on this season. Cardiff, and like what we'll see with quite a lot of clubs this season, have just gotten rid of the dead wood, which is always great to see. Signings have caught a few eyes out. You know, Aaron Ramsey being among those. You know, he adds a lot of experience to our team. It's also, you know, hometown signing as well, so it's always good to have. And also brought in Carlin Grant and Nikumi as well, two very experienced players for this league. And I don't know. I think with Cardiff, it could go either way. They could have a pretty good season, or they could have a pretty naff one, which I think they will. But I mean, to be fair, they're still possibly like they get relegated, and to be fair, they were in my bottom three until I took them out last minute. Put them 20th, but you know, I'll have to wait and see there. 19th, I've gone with Plymouth Argyle. To be fair, these could easily finish higher than 19th. I think they probably could finish higher, but I'm being a little bit cautious with this one. I put them 19th for now. Again, to be fair, like with Sheffield Wednesday, they've kept the squad together, which is always important for a new promoted team. I suppose Niall Ennis is the only real huge departure there. They've brought in Body Mumber and Morgan Whittaker on permanent signings, which is always great to see. Like other teams in the league, they've also dipped into the Premier League loan market, which is always good to see. And to be fair, they should be comfortable. Like, I don't think anyone's really predicting Plymouth to go down. You know, they absolutely bossed the league last year, getting like over 100 points winning the league. And yeah, to be fair, I'm intrigued to see the the reunion with Ryan Lowe to play Preston. That should be an interesting one. And speaking of Preston, I got them just above Plymouth in 18th. It's just, again, it's just looking bleak at Preston, isn't it? Like, they're just going on a downward spiral right now. You know, obviously Daniel Johnson, long-serving players depart the club. However, they have brought in some pretty exciting players. You could say, you know, Jensen from Denmark could be a good signing. Also bringing in Holmes, as I mentioned before, from Huddersfield, and also Will Keane from Wigan. You know, who are pretty experienced AFL players. And also invading Liverpool with getting Leighton Stewart and Calvin Ramsey as well. Those two guys would be eager to impress as well. So I suppose it isn't too bad at Preston if you look at it, but I think it's just a case of, you know, the teams above them just look a lot stronger than they do. And, I mean, to be fair, I don't think they've signed Tom Cannon yet. As of recording this, they might have done. But, I mean, to be fair, if they bring in Tom Cannon, there's no reason why they can't finish higher, but right now I've got them 18th, but keep in mind that this is before the Tom Cannon signing, so that makes sense. 17th, we've gone with Bristol City. I've seen people predict Bristol City to have a good season, but I don't see it. Like, I'm pretty sure I said that last year as well. I just don't get the hype at Bristol City. I really don't. I mean, yeah, they looked alright under Nigel Pearson last season, but I don't get it. I really don't. Jay De Silva has left. Obviously, it's going to be a huge blow for them. They haven't brought much, but they have bought well. The player identified where they need to strengthen, which was always great. But to be fair, I'm not really expecting much of an improvement from last season, if I'm being honest. I mean, to be fair, I'm just fully expecting them just to have a mind-blowing season now, but I've got them 17th. 16th, my first controversial prediction, I would say, probably with Blackburn. Now, I might be a little bit harsh, but it's one, but I'm expecting a little bit of a drop-off from Blackburn this season. Yeah, obviously, you know, two big factors, obviously, Brereton, Diaz and Dak have both gone. I know Dak didn't feature as much last season, but, you know, you saw last season when Brereton Diaz obviously signed his contract with Villarreal, how much he just fucking stopped trying, and how much Blackburn's form was absolutely plummeted. And honestly, they were lucky to stay in the top 6 for as long as they were. Honestly, they were, you know. They've gone abroad for the signings, which is, you know, an interesting tactic. Unknown prospects, you could say, but also promising, which adds a little bit of excitement. But again, you know, they've got their financial problems behind the scenes as well. And to be fair, I'm going to call it now. I don't think John Thomason's going to be at Blackburn at the end of the season. And if he is, I reckon he'll probably go before the start of next season. If you catch my drift. Again, it might be a little bit harsh putting them all the way down 16th, but I just don't see them having a great season. 15th, we've gone with Hull. I just wasn't really sure where to put Hull, if I'm being completely honest. Haven't really been any huge supporters, which is always great. Obviously, Caldolo went back to Leeds. He went back to Newcastle since signed for Leeds. Again, like Blackburn have went abroad for their signings, but they've also dipped into the Premier League loan market. Obviously, one of the times I brought in is Liam Delap. Obviously, he didn't have a great year last year with Stoke and Preston. He'll be keen to really have a good year under his belt with Hull. I mean, they looked better under Liam Senior last season. It's just, again, you just don't really know with Hull how they're going to get on this year, which is why I've got them in 15th. And the controversial predictions just keep on coming. I've got Watford in 14th. Now, again, this could be an interesting one to say the least, but I've got them 14th. Obviously, João Pedro and Ismail Sarr both gone. Again, they've gotten rid of all the dead wood, Watford, but they haven't really replaced them well enough, in my opinion. They've brought in a lot of has-beens from the EFL and also a lot of unknown players from abroad, which, again, could work, might not, we just don't know. But, you know, it's just, Watford is just a poison chalice, which I think is the best way to describe them. And, I mean, to be fair, they might get top 6 this season, we just don't know. But I just don't see them having a good year at all. So I've got them finishing 14th, which is going to be a very bad one. And to be fair, I think everyone expects Ismail to get sacked at some point during the season as well. So there's that. And finally, in 13th, I've gone with Swansea. Again, it's just another club I just don't really know how they're going to do this season. You know, Russell Martin's gone. Michael Duff's come in. Like we all saw a few years ago when Martin first came in, how long it took 20 to adapt. And there's a high chance that could happen again this season. Obviously, Ryan Mannon's gone as well. That's a huge loss, as well as Joel Latiba. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I completely butchered that. Obviously, he's gone as well. I am liking the signing of Josh Key and Jerry Yates from League One. Obviously, Jerry Yates was the star player in that crap Blackpool team last season. Also, Josh Key's been linked with every fucking Championship tough club for the last couple of years. He's finally to join Swansea. He could be a good addition as well. Again, it's just whether or not they can adjust to Michael Duff ball quickly to make sure that they don't have a complete rubbish season. But again, Swansea is just a club where they just don't really look like they're going in any direction right now. I mean, yeah, they had a good end of last season, but that's just completely been reversed now since Martin's gone, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty intriguing one there. Now I've got the 6 teams I think will finish top half but miss out on the playoffs. Starting in 12th, I've gone with Birmingham. Could be a pretty ambitious prediction, this one, but Birmingham probably have had the best transfer window in the Premier League, in the league so far this season. Obviously before that, obviously Chong and Bellingham are both gone. All the Birmingham fans wanted to think that they're not asked for Bellingham going, but so far Bellingham's been fucking fantastic for some pre-season, so there's that. And obviously Austin Trussey's gone back to Arsenal as well. Haven't brought him back yet. Obviously could be quite a big loss there. Again, the signings have all looked pretty well. Obviously they brought in Dion Sanderson on a permanent deal, which was great. And also Ethan Laird, Christian Bielik, Tyler Roberts, Keshi Anderson, and Zachary Dembele as well. Brilliant signings as well. All those guys are experienced in the championship. And also, obviously, Roberts and Dembele both obviously got their Premier League experience as well, which is great. And to be fair, like last year, Birmingham didn't do that badly, to be fair, all things considered. Obviously, John Eustace, he did well with what he had to work with last year. And in my opinion, Birmingham, you know, since the takeover's come in, they've bought well. It's looking a lot more positive with Birmingham now than what it has been for the last fucking decade, you could say. And yeah, they could either have a good year or a bad year. I've got them in 12th in the middle. I just don't really know how they're going to do. 11th, I've gone with Stoke. Again, you just don't know. It's hard. It's really hard. Like, the fucking mid-table part of the fucking league has been the hardest to predict, because you don't know how clubs are going to do. But I've got Stoke in 11th, which is a huge improvement in the last couple of years. Again, they've gotten rid of the dead wood. You know, the signings were the really exciting signings. You know, they've gone with a mixture of, you know, players from abroad, players with championship experience, and also in the Premier League loan market as well. For me, I think along with Birmingham, Stoke are my dark horses this season. which pains me to fucking say because of fucking Alex Neil. But again, it's pretty exciting time to be a Stoke fan. But you know, insert in the fucking the Penfairs 16th meme.
Easy top 3. If I'm not 16th,
it could go horribly fucking wrong. But really it shouldn't, because you know that they've brought some pretty good signings, so it shouldn't be that bad. But again, you just don't know. In 10th, I got with West Brom. I originally had West Brom quite low compared to where I've got them now, but that signing of Josh Manager, which I'm talking about in a little bit, completely changed my perspective on it. But like before that was a pretty slow window. Obviously Dara O'Shea went to Burnley, which obviously, you know, was a big loss there. But obviously they brought in Jeremy Sarmiento from Brighton on loan, and obviously today have announced the signing of Josh Manager as well. You know, to be fair, like Sarmiento Manager and Jed Wallace up front three, they're pretty fucking quality front three there. I think with West Brom is, you know, they've got all these issues behind the scenes, which is why I've got them quite low, which I know makes fucking zero sense, but I'm trying to be a little bit reserved with West Brom. Obviously, because Corbyn's a good manager, we all know that. It's again, you just don't know how they're gonna get on, really. And then 9th, I've gone with the final promoted club of Ipswich Town. This is a gamble, it really is. I'll be honest, I think I've seen people predicting Ipswich to get top 6 and shit. I just don't think they'll do that well. I still don't know how I feel about them putting them in 9th either, because you know they are like a new promoted team, and I know obviously we got playoff last year after getting new promoted, but to be fair, the last time a team before us did that well being new promoted was fucking Brentford 8 years prior to us doing it, so you don't know, do you? I suppose, you know, a lot of the things I said with Plymouth you could say again with Ipswich. You know, they've kept the squad together, which was great. Haven't really brought in too many signings, but they've brought in some good ones. You know, Jack Taylor from Peterborough, one of the best players in League One last year. He's going to be looking to make that step up. George Hurst brought him in on a permanent deal as well, which was always great. And of course, you know, the feel-good factor is still there with Ipswich. You know, they were pretty much flawless for most of the season. You know, like last 15 games, they literally dropped like what 4 points, which is just insane form. And yes, I know that was against League One teams, and obviously the Championship is a big step up. But again, it's just intriguing to see how they get on. Could finish top 6. I don't think they will. Could also fucking get relegated. Like, I'm fully expecting Ipswich to just completely fuck up the season and just make me and all the other fucking championship YouTubers and podcasts look like absolute idiots. But that's the risk with the prediction. You know, we've got to go big or go home. That's what I've done here. Could backfire immediately, but who knows. 8th, I got Norwich. I really don't. I'm just even looking at it now, I'm regretting putting Norwich in 8th. I just don't know with Norwich. I really don't. You know, obviously, main one, obviously, Timi Pukki's gone. That's, you know, a lot of goals he's losing there. But you know, the signings have been alright. Nothing really wrong with them. They brought in a lot of experienced championship players, which isn't a bad thing, I suppose. It's just, you know, just the way that last season went. You know, Dean Smith although he had him in the top 6, it wasn't going well, and Wagner couldn't really improve things. And it's just, again, whether he'll be given time this season to get things right. Because I've got a feeling if Norwich don't do well this season, he could end up getting sacked, which, you know, could be a bad thing. It's just, you just don't know how Norwich are going to do this season. I just got a feeling that they're going to just absolutely fucking bottle it this year. And even then, I think I've been very generous putting them in 8th. So in 7th, just missing out on the top 6, I've gone with Millwall. Now, I felt bad putting Millwall out of the top 6, I did, but to be fair, I think compared to the teams I've put in the top 6, I just don't see it happening for Millwall this season. They've kept the team together, which is always important to do. Signings have been decent ones as well. You know, Kevin Nisbet's great finisher with time at Hibs in Scotland. Obviously Joe Brown as well, who previous experience with Fulham and Aston Villa and Brentford as well, so he's done the rounds there. But again, they just need to put that final day of last season behind them. You know, just the way they just chucked the playoffs away last year was obviously heartbreaking for them, but just gotta move past it really. But also, well, I think Millwall probably will have the best home record in the league this season as well, just because the fucking Den, it's a fucking not a nice place to go for away teams, so I think they'll do quite well there. Now moving on to my my 4 teams I've got in the playoffs, and I think the first 3 you'd expect, it's just that team in 3rd who you definitely got an eyebrow towards, which I'll explain in a little bit. But in 6, I've gone with the first relegated team with Leeds United. Again, I fucking sound like a broken record at this point, but it's just unknown how they're going to get on the season. And, you know, again, it's a brand new era at Leeds, you know, new owners and new manager, obviously Daniel Farke, you know, he's gotten Norwich promoted out of this league how many times, you don't know. Had a pretty slow start to window, obviously, because of the whole takeover, but since then, things have picked up slightly. Obviously, Ethan Ampadu is a good signing from Chelsea. That's a pretty good signing for this division, which is great to see. And obviously, Carl Darlow as well. You know, he offers good competition to Meslier as well, which isn't a bad thing. And to be fair with Leeds, they already had like a good base of championship players. You know, obviously like Charlie Cresswell, Joe Gelhardt, people like that. They already, they already had them in the club, which is also great to see. So they're going to be getting more first team action this season. I put Leeds in 6 because I don't think they'll get top 2. I don't think they'll be pushing top 2, but there's also a big chance they won't even get top 6. I've got them finishing 6 for now, but again, we'll have to wait and see. And then 5th, I've gone with Sunderland. To be fair, like literally, I've seen quite a few people their predictions, and to be fair, most people think that we'll get top 6, which is always great to see, I suppose. But again, it's just a very tough league this year, isn't it? Again, we've kept our team together, which was great. Obviously, Jack Clark's obviously been the main one linked with the move to Burnley. Obviously, Ross Stewart, he's probably going to leave as well this season, so there's that to consider as well. But for me, you know, our signings, you know, were brought in well. Obviously, Bradley Dack's experience, obviously, in the AFL. Obviously, Joe Bellingham as well. Obviously, a couple of appearances for Birmingham as well. He's going to be looking to really make his mark this season. Also bringing exciting young players from Brody and Lewis made us a brilliant pre-season. You know, also Jensen Seals from PSV Eindhoven as well. That's a brilliant signing for the first division, and also as well as Nectar Triantis as well. It's just, you know, it's just looking positive right now for Sunderland. I think our only obstacle right now is just our injury record. Like, fucking injuries last season was just ridiculous. Like, I've never known anything like it. And we've already got a few players out injured already, which is funny, but you know, if we keep the squad fit and healthy, which is obviously easier said than done, there's no reason at all why we can't make top 6 again this season. Whether or not we'll win in the playoffs is a whole different story, but right now I wasn't 5th, which I'll be very happy with if we do get 5th. And 4th, I've gone with Coventry, which is a weird one, because, you know, I had Coventry quite low at the top when I first made these, but, you know, I've had another look at their business so far this summer, and it's been decent. Again, they've got to put the playoff final behind them. Obviously, it's never nice losing a playoff final. They might on fucking penalties as well. Obviously, Gyökeres is gone. You know, obviously, a huge loss there. Obviously, Ben Hamer, sorry, not Ben Hamer, fucking hell, Gus Hamer, could also leave as well, which could be a pretty damaging blow. But like I already mentioned, they've brought in well. Obviously, Ellis Sims, Luke Thomas, Jada Silva. Sorry, fucking Bobby Thomas. Jada Silva, obviously Joel Latibo there as well, all have good experience in the championship as well. And also brought in some young foreign players as well, so it's always exciting. But again, like I mentioned before, they're just unknown. And obviously Mark Robbins for me is one of the best managers in the league. You know he's gonna try to do very well with Coventry. So got him finished top 6 for now. To be fair, I reckon they could have an even better year than they did last year, but obviously, well, to be fair, I think that all depends on whether or not Ellis Sims hits the ground running. But we'll have to wait and see. And in 3rd place, I've gone with Southampton. Now, I know everyone's fucking saying that Southampton's going to get top 2, but there's one key factor why I've put them to finish 3rd and not 2nd or 1st. As of right now, they've kept the team together, which is great. But in my opinion, there are 3 to 4 players leaving for them to absolutely plummet. You know, I'm talking about, you know, James Ward-Prowse, Salisu, Livramento, Romeo Lavia as well. You know, if they all leave, Southampton are going to absolutely fucking plummet, in my opinion. You know, they brought in Ryan Manning, which was a pretty good signing for this division. But again, like I mentioned, they need more. And in my opinion, they really are gambling with, you know, keeping hold of all these players that they've got, because, like I mentioned before, if they all go, Southampton are going to absolutely plummet, in my opinion. So, again, we'll have to wait and see, but I do think right now that's Southampton are going to finish 3rd and miss out on the top 2, but, you know, always a possibility that they'll win the playoffs, my little prediction league. So in case you didn't already know who my top 2 were based on process of elimination, here they are. Second, I've gone with Middlesbrough. You know, they were brilliant under Michael Carrick. Obviously, once they did have that playoff spot confirmed, that's when they did tail off a little bit. But for me, if they do have something to fight for the full season, there's no reason at all why they can't get top 2. You know, the only real key to pass, obviously Cameron Archer's gone back to Aston Villa. Obviously, isn't great. Again, haven't really made too many signings, but you know, they've identified where they need to strengthen, which is all great. And to be fair, you know, it really is a gamble, I suppose, of putting Borough at second place. But you know, there's no reason why they can't. There really is no reason why they can't. It must have fucking pains to say as a Sunderland fan is Middlesbrough could easily get second place. But for me, my champions for this season are Leicester City. I know it's a boring answer, but to be fair with Leicester, they've got by far and away the best squad in this fucking league. Like, they've made some utterly insane signings for this level. Like, you know, Connor Cody, Harry Winks, 2 players who could easily still make it in the Premier League, in my opinion. As well as bringing in Callum Doyle, who, obviously, Coventry and Sunderland fans will tell you guys how good this kid is for his age. You know, he turns 20, I think, in September, but he's a quality player. Like he's a future star, Callum Doyle. He really is. You know, as most relegated sides go, they have lost a few key players, but you know, they've got good money, and you know, Madison and Barnes have both gone, you know, made good money for them as well. Obviously, the key players they kept the whole, you know, Dewsbury Hall, Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy. He could probably still do it at this level. To be fair, I think similar to Derby in League One, I think Leicester fans will be disappointed if they don't get top 2, but might also be disappointed if they don't even win the league, because they've got an unreal squad for this league. They really do. But you know, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be pretty excited for this season. That's what I'm gonna say. But that's gonna be it for my predictions. You know, it's never easy to predict the EFL, because you know, they are the most unpredictable leagues in the world, and there's every chance I'm gonna look like an absolute idiot come the end of the season. But you know, I've got a chance myself, so that's what I've done. Feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments. How do you think your team's gonna do this season? And if I place your team lower than what you think I should have done, please don't get fucking angry at us in the comments. So yeah, but that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time.